Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the International Business Management classes. In this class, we are going to discuss about the specialization called International Business Management. In this International Business Management, we are going to discuss about the business management and the special specialization. Second specialization is all about global marketing management. So, when it comes to international business management, we all should understand today the business perspective has totally changed, right? Today none of the companies wants to concentrate on a single market. They don't want to serve only single customers or from a single country. They want to concentrate on global customers. So today all the companies are trying to establish their businesses globally. So they want to serve global customers. As a part of it, we are going to discuss that is international business management. So in our today's class, we are going to discuss about introduction. We are going to discuss about the features of the international business management and also explain and study about reasons for the emergence of international business management. So before going into the reasons or before going into the features, you all should understand the basic meaning of international business management. As we all are aware about the LPG, have you all heard about LPG? My dear students, anyone from the class has heard about LPG?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, please tell me.
Sir, it's liberalization, privatization, globalization.
Very good. It's liberalization, privatization, and globalization. So the effect of liberalization, privatization, and mainly the effect of globalization has created a path for businesses to extend their operations in more than one country. So what has happened here? In the year 1991, the government of India has come up with LPG policies. So in this LPG policies, what they have done, they have liberalized the process, they have liberalized the restrictions, and then the privatization has come into picture. And today we speak about global business. That is because of the globalization, wherein the restrictions to open a company in any part of the world has been reduced, right? And any company can enter into any part of the world. That is, they can enter into any economy. That means today's business is growing globally, right? And the need for profit is pushing a large number of business firms into world markets. So now we all are aware that what are the different objectives of an organization or an business. What are the objectives, my dear students? Hope you all have attended my previous classes. So I said many times about the objectives of today's businesses. Do you all remember? Yes.
Sir, can you please again explain the question? What's your question?
What are the objectives of today's business or any organization?
So the main goal is profit earning.
Profit,
and
very good.
make a goodwill and so the main thing is आपने बहुत अच्छा गोल बताया था, मेरे को याद नहीं आ रहा. एक वन लाइन का एक था.
Aisha, do you remember?
What, sir?
Objectives of any organization. The first objective is fine. Everyone is known about it. That is profit generation, right? They want profit. Should I name any business? Yes.
Sir, profit earning with customer satisfaction.
Correct. That is the objective of today's business. Correct. So that is what I have searched a lot on principles of management when we were discussing about PPM. So here now also the main objective, the need for the profit is pushing. The main objective of any business who is entering into this world is again for the need for profit. And this need for profits is pushing the customers, pushing the companies beyond their historical and traditional boundaries. So it is nothing but they want their operations to be held, or they want their businesses to be started in many countries beyond the boundaries, matlab in more than one or two countries. And the global corporation is gaining an increasing acceptance in the business community. And compared, please mute yourself. And compared to corporations operating within the geographical limits of the country. So now what they are speaking is a global company which is spread over throughout the world. So now what they are doing, their acceptance are being accepted throughout the worldwide. That is, their products and services are accepted throughout the worldwide. So now the acceptance level is more in global business, if at all, if you compare with the historical or traditional business. And these businesses are termed as multinational corporations. I hope everyone knows this, right? It is MNC. When a business operation is in more than one country, we call it as multinational corporations and transnational companies. So we even call it as a TNC. TNC is nothing but transnational companies. And these companies operate on the principle that the world is their field of operations. So now I said you many times, today's market is a worldwide market, or we call it as a global market. Today, all the companies are trying to concentrate on different countries. They want to satisfy the customers of different countries. They are no more wanting to serve the customers in a specific country, or they don't want to do a business in a specific country. As the effect of globalization has spread over, it has created a path to open the businesses for many companies in many countries. So that's why these companies work on the single principle called that their world is the field of operations, or the world is the field of operations. That means they want to concentrate on all different types of countries. Today, you name any company, my dear students, even our Indian companies like Reliance, Tata's, they all are again located worldwide, correct? If you name Tata, they have businesses in many countries, not only in India, even in European continent. So even in South Asian continent, even in Asia continent. So a company like Tata is spread over throughout the world, right? If you take an example of Unilever, if you take an example of Nestle, if you take an example of Shell, so these all are multinational companies whose businesses are spread out throughout the world. I guess we all know what is Shell, we all know what is Unilever, and we all know what is Nestle. It is the effect of, or they have come into India because of this LPG, that is globalization. The main reason is globalization, and operate on the philosophy of global corporation. So now we are no more related to a country. Now we are no more related to a specific market. You are related to global market. So that's why you are called as global corporation. And they cannot be labeled as a French or German or Dutch or Swiss company. So previously they used to name it as a German company, or a Swiss company, or an Indian company, or an English company. But now they are labeled as global corporations. So that's what I said you earlier. You are no more restricted to a specific market or to a specific country, right? They have spread all over the world, and these companies have no real domestic market. In some markets, in some companies, they don't have domestic market. The demand for their products is very less in their domestic market. And people of many different nationalities are managing and operating these corporations on a day-to-day basis, and their products and services are sold around the world through their operating subsidiaries functioning in various countries. So now what is happening? These companies are able to sell their goods and services. These companies are able to produce the goods and services in many countries. That means their operations are being managed by different countries, managed in different countries by different people. Right? If at all, if you take a simple example of any company, we'll take a simple example of Nestle. Nestle is a giant in FMCG sector, correct? So today they have so many products, and one of the famous product. Can anyone tell me what is the famous product of a Nestle, which has been attracted? Every Indian got attracted to it. Does anyone know which product it is?
Maggie.
Maggie.
Sir, coffee.
Maggie. Are you aware about Maggie? Nestle Maggie?
Nescafe, sir, Nescafe.
Nescafe, right?
Nestea.
Correct. So one of the famous product to which Indians got attracted is Maggie, sir. Nestle. It is the product of Nestle. So do you all remember there was an incident which has taken place some 2 to 3 years back? The Nestle has stopped their sales and operations. Do you all remember? The content of lead was more in the Maggie. Again, they have rectified it. Again, they have relaunched it. Do you all remember?
Yes, sir. Yes, the Maggie.
Right? So Maggie, see, it has been started in a different country. The company is operating in many countries, and today it has captured the whole Indian market. Correct? So we are unable to live without these products. There are few products which we are very much habituated to use it in our day-to-day life. So that is the impact of all these global corporations on our Indian society. So now if you take a simple example of Maggie, it is a company, it is a product of Nestle, and we are using it in our India. It has been also produced in India. It has been also managed by an Indians. Correct? There are people who are working in the Nestle company that is in India. Indians are been working, they are managing. If at all, if you go to the next, the same company which is in another country, again it has been owned and managed by those countries' people. So here you can see these companies are managed by different people or managed by different nationalities or by the people of different countries, and they are able to make sure that their day-to-day operations are being working correctly, or they are able to achieve what they have planned or what they have desired. So when it comes to MNC, yes, the company might be from a different country, but still it is being managed by the people in which country you are planning to enter. So that is the meaning of this. And you can see their products and services are sold around the world. So that is what I was speaking about. So you name any four-wheeler today. If you take a simple example of a BMW, if you take a simple example of Mercedes-Benz, so from which countries these companies are? Does anyone have idea? Do you know from which country this Volkswagen is? My dear students, you all are there? So we see these all are the giant MNCs working in many countries. That is, their goods and services are sold throughout the world through their operating subsidiaries, functioning in various countries or with the help of the companies who are associated with them. Through them, they are able to sell their goods and services. Okay, now I'll ask my dear students, have you all heard about the bike called Duke? My dear students, have you all heard about the bike called Duke? It is very famous nowadays. All the youngsters and college students are very much interested to purchase this bike and they want to ride this bike. Have you all come across this bike? So this company is...
Sir, which one?
Duke. DU.
Yes, sir, Duke.
It has 150
Yes, sir,
cc,
yes, sir.
170 cc, 200, 250, somewhere 250 if I'm not wrong, right? So it is again a very...
Yes, it's KTM Duke.
KTM Duke. So it is again a sports model bike. Today's youths are very much are attracted, right? And which company is promoting in India? KTM is a bike's name. The company is Duke. And which company is promoting in India? Srijan? Bajaj. So now it is a company from Western countries, and in India, with the help of these operating subsidiaries countries, they are able to sell these bikes. And which company is helping the KTM or Duke is again the Bajaj. So now, whenever you speak about MNC, there should be a support of this subsidiary companies who are functioning in various countries. So this is all about the introduction part. So now in international business, so what is happening in international business? So now we have come to the next best part, that is again understanding what is international business. So till now we have discussed about how it has come into existence and what is the impact of it. Now the international business involves transactions across the national boundaries. So what do you mean by transactions? Buying and selling of goods and services across the national boundaries. It includes the transfer of goods, services, technology, managerial knowledge, and capital to other countries. So what we are exchanging? What are these transactions? These transactions are nothing but related to transfer of goods, services, technology, knowledge, capital, and also labor. So this is what's been exchanged in international business. Although business has been conducted on an international scale, for many years, international business has gained more significance only in recent years because of the emergence of multinational corporations in some of the developing countries. So international business is not a new concept to the world. It was been from the beginning, but how it has become popular is only because of these top MNCs who started their operations in many countries. Okay, so that is how it has become very famous, or it has gained its significance recently. So that is what they are trying to explain you. And international business conducts business transactions all over the world. So it is not restricted to a specific country or to a single country. So now we are concentrating on the different parts of the world, that is different countries of the world. And these transactions include the transfer of goods, services, technology, knowledge, capital to other countries. And also international business involves exports and imports. So that is what I said you, exchange of goods and services between 2 to 3 countries. That is nothing but international business. It is also involving exports and imports, and it is also known, it has even many names. So international business is also known or called or referred as global business or an international marketing. So what it is also called as? Global business or an international marketing. Is it clear, my dear students? You all understood the meaning of international business? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what
Yes, sir.
it is also called as? It is also called as global business. It is also called as international marketing. It is also called as international business management. So it has been called by different names, but the meaning remains the same. So now, once we understood the meaning, so now we are supposed to understand the definition of international business. So according to Roger Bennett, he defines international business, which involves commercial activities that cross the national frontiers. That is nothing but the commercial activities which are crossing the national boundaries. It is nothing but trade between 2 or more countries. That is the meaning of this first definition. And according to John D. Daniels and Lee H. Rothbard, international business is all business transactions, private and governmental that involve two or more countries. So now, if at all, if you ask me what are these business transactions, so it can be a private and even sometimes it can be the governmental transactions. Okay, so that involve two or more countries, and private companies undertake such transactions for profits, and even governments may undertake or may not do the same in their transactions. So generally, any company, either it is a public limited, either it is a government or it is a private, they do it for the sake of business, they do it for the sake of profits. So now we have Swadesh Naranji, you are there in the class?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So
There is no
Swadesh
slide,
Naranji
sir.
is working in BHEL. It is a government organization. Let us take a simple and live example. Okay. He is
Okay.
working in a government organization called BHEL.
Yes.
Correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Sir, your business, your company do business with the different countries, correct?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So,
We
sir, through what are the products which are being sold, and in which countries your company is doing business, sir? This is purely a government company. As
Yes,
we
sir.
all are aware about the private companies, if you take a simple example of Reebok, Nike, BMW, Mercedes, you name any sector today, there are private companies. Now let us take a simple example of government company. Sir, can you tell us in which country your company is doing its operations?
Actually, the BHL is dealing with business. G General Electric, Siemens.
Yes, GE, that is General Electronics, right?
Yes, sir.
General Electrics, yes.
Yes, sir.
It is dealing,
And-
okay.
And Siemens.
It is also dealing with cements.
Actually, with GE, we are dealing with the gas turbine product
Yes.
and steam turbine like this.
Okay.
And with Mitsubishi also, we are dealing with that. Sir.
So even it deals with Mitsubishi. Mitsubishi is
Yes, yes.
again one of the world's leading engine manufacturing companies, if I'm not
Yes.
wrong. Correct, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. So they are into everything. They even produce ACs, air conditions. They are into automobile sectors. These engines are very famous throughout the world. Mitsubishi. Okay. Continue.
Yes, sir.
So you recently you were telling that even you are dealing, your company's operations are even in Bangladesh.
This is project actually, project.
Yes.
we-
So still,
we are-
for what purpose you are doing it, sir? Can you tell us for what purpose your company is doing it?
We are constructing this thermal power project
Okay. So for what purpose you are doing it?
for power generation, sir.
For power generation. So whether profit generation is your motive?
Yes, sir. Yes, profit generation. We are selling this. We have a project for that costing 10,000 crore with Bangladesh government.
Correct. So now, see, that's what, either it can be a private company or a public company or a government company.
It is
They
government
do
company.
it for the sake of profits. Correct, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So now, this is what international business is all about according to these renowned authors. Is it clear, my dear students?